What conspiracy theory do you believe to be true? What evidence led you to this conclusion? What is the scariest conspiracy theory if true? Well, it's a well-known fact, Sonny Jim, that there's a secret society of the 5 wealthiest people in the world, known only as the Pentaverate, who run everything in the world including the newspapers, and meet triannually in a secret country mansion in Colorado, known as the Meadows. So who's in this Pentaverate? The Queen, the Vatican, the Jetties, the Rothschilds, and Colonel Sanders, before he went tits up. Who I hated the Colonel, with his wee beady eyes, and that smug look on his face. OHH, you're gonna buy my chicken. Oh. The pineal gland does more than we think. It's been documented in various cultures, but we have no idea what it does. The governments are secretly poisoning our brains with the fluoride, to crystallize or deactivate our pineal gland to limit our capabilities, and make us dumber. It's hard to say why the consequences are, as we don't know what it did in the first place. The majority of human history in the textbooks is a lie, and the pyramids in Egypt weren't used for tombs, but for generating zero-point energy off of electromagnetism. The moon is hollow. Aliens are real. Some are nice, others are a bit rappy. We could end world hunger and global warming if governments and politicians weren't so stuck on taking money from companies. Atlantis was real and was located in East Africa, but was destroyed by a shift in the climate. Atlantis evidence. I think that's all for now. Oh, Sasquatch is real. That the US government or one or more factions within the government orchestrated 9/11, or even simply allowed it to happen. It's not a theory I buy into wholesale, but if true, the implications would be staggering, and the ramifications would be insane. That magic used to be a very popular practice and powerful tool of humans, but the people that couldn't understand it killed all the ones that did, and now thousands of years of life-changing information is lost, and humans have desperately tried to reach back towards the powers they once had through religious practices, but we'll never be as powerful as we used to be. Also, that humans have existed for millions and millions of years instead just 200,000 or so like they say, and we keep reaching some sort of societal peak, and then we destroy our civilization and have to restart over and over and over. And we are currently very close to another reset, maybe just a few hundred years away. That the government curates conspiracy theories to suit its interests. For example, 19 dudes with box cutters pull off a massive broadside attack on US soil. This threatens the very valuable narrative of the invincible USA. Conspiracy theories naturally emerge. The CIA etc. work their influence into these and help popularize the notion that the attack was an inside job. This lets people imagine a US government which is not impotent, but in fact omnipotent, if evil. A model for this is proposed in the film Mirage Men, which accuses the FOC of planting alien/UFO conspiracy theories to discredit people who had observed top-secret aircraft. The golden age of Saturn and the purple haze. Saturn, at some point in the distant past, was a brown dwarf star. Earth, along with Mars and Uranus, revolved around Saturn within its plasma sheath. Saturn's plasma sheath made it so that Earth's atmosphere was perpetually engulfed by a purple haze. The plasma sheath also acted as a barrier so that nothing could be seen from either the inside out nor from the outside in. Now enter the Sun and Jupiter. The introduction of these two giant celestial bodies into the existing Saturnian system caused the planets influenced by Saturn to be stripped from its gravitational field. As a result, we were pushed to our current location in the solar system, and somehow our saltwater oceans also came from Saturn, but forgot how. If anti-gun politicians arrange mass shootings. Example, the Las Vegas shooting last year was perpetrated by some random old dude with no real history of anything or stated agenda who killed himself afterwards. ATF was not allowed to actually inspect the guns used. Just so happened to occur right before significant pro-gun legislation was going to pass a major hurdle in the form of the HPA/SHARE Act. Obviously that wasn't pushed forward. Several states passed new legislation. There are still ongoing federal attempts to reinterpret the law to make bump stocks/other illegal. Not saying I think it's true, but it is spoopy. Stanford is not a real. As we draw to the close of the college admissions process, thousands of students are waiting with drawn breath for Friday, when Stanford University will release their decisions. I was one of these students until I stumbled upon revelations that have shaken me to the core and caused me to realize the true nature of Stanford. I share this as a warning, with the hope that one day the terrible truth will come to light. Stanford isn't real. First, we should make some observations. Stanford, or Stanford as I will refer to it occasionally, has one of the most expensive application fees in the country. This will be important later. Second, Stanford is considered one of the most prestigious colleges in the country and has an exceptionally low acceptance rate. It has alumni with a wide range of accomplishments and talents and is generally listed as one of the world's best places to study. Now despite all this, let me ask, have you ever really seen anyone from Stanford? Have you ever met someone who recently attended the college? Sure, people say they get in and go, but then what? Nothing, never to be seen again. Take a look at their website. The campus looks good, right? But where are all the people? Now, here's the explanation. Stanford does not exist. The campus, although obviously real, is a mere prop akin to a movie setting. They can accomplish this by rejecting every applicant and pocketing their application fee in order to keep the campus looking good. When you apply to Stanford, you are not applying to a school, but rather paying a shadowy shell company close to $100. The interviewers? All paid actors. The pictures? All fake. There is no Stanford, but rather a fake campus and a network of lies. Obviously, you probably think this is complete nonsense. What about my friend, you ask? He's a freshman at Stanford right now. But tell me, when was the last time you saw him? Oh, he got an internship over the summer. You sure? Perhaps he was paid off with some excess funds to attend so-called Stanford. Finally, the alumni. Let me ask you a hypothetical question. Imagine you, through hard work and some luck, rose to the top of the corporate ladder and became a CEO. All your peers attended Ivies and similar institutions, while you didn't attend college. It'd make you feel pretty small, right? But what if you were approached by someone from Stanford saying they could register you as an official alumni for a simple one-time payment? I don't know about you, but I'd take the deal. And so would many others, leading to a self-fulfilling cycle where people become alumni in order to increase their social status, therefore making Stanford seem more prestigious and attractive. What we see as one of the most competitive and selective schools in the world is merely one giant illusion to keep the world's greatest minds at bay, one $90 application fee at a time. Stay woke, my friends, and stay safe. I really do think that, if there is any truth to 9/11 conspiracy, it's the scariest. You have to have a lot of tough beliefs to make this one true. The country's leadership will purposely kill thousands of innocent citizens and destroy billions of dollars of property to make more money with oil. The leadership is perfectly fine with temporarily destroying the economy to enable a war agenda. There are so many people involved in the conspiracy, people to plan the mission, people to wire big buildings with explosives, people who are willing to murder civilians for some nefarious gain elsewhere. Not one single person in this operation has spoken out that they were involved and came clean. That's just a few I can think of right now. For Bush did 9/11, or that the US government purposely did 9/11 to be true, we'd have to accept that pure evil is not an outlier, but pretty common. Definitely the flat earth. It means they're right that the FAA, NASA, them and every pilot, astronaut, and meteorologist and whatever are in on this giant conspiracy. All these people, all these government agencies and corporations, all of them are working together to create fake launches, fake satellite photos, fake maps, fake globes, and fooling passengers into thinking they're flying around the world when they're really taking a long trip around the edge of a disk, or through a dimensional portal to the other side like a Pac-Man maze. And all of these people are keeping up this facade so perfectly, without a single leak, without any conceivable motive. If this was proven true, it would change a few things. It's much scarier if none of these conspiracy theories are true. There isn't hidden meaning in any of these events. There is no meaning. JFK was killed by a lone arsehole. 9/11 happened because of a small group of arseholes, etc. Even small personal conspiracies and paranoia are meaningless. You didn't get that promotion, not because your boss has it out for you, but because of some bureaucratic inertia. Nobody would bother trying to fuck with your life, because nobody even cares. Conspiracies are what you get when you long for order and meaning in life. What's more scary? That a secret cabal controls world events, or that nobody does? Big Candy invented gays to increase the amount of adopted children, so they can sell more candy. The more candy they sell, the less healthy society becomes, forcing people to turn to Big Pharma, which is just big candy in a lab coat. Big Candy lobbies the government to subsidize agriculture, so they can get more corn syrup, so they can sell more candy, and they also control oil companies, so they can create the plastic wrappers at a lower price. Wake up people, the signs are everywhere. No matter how you look at Big Candy is at the top of everything. Marilyn Monroe was murdered by the US government. She frequently attempted suicide and then called someone via her landline next to her bed to come save her. When she died, no traces of it were found within her stomach, and her colon had been extremely cleaned. A theory is that she was murdered via enema poisoning. I haven't brushed up on it or researched in a long time, so I'm probably remembering facts incorrectly. Search it up on YouTube, it's quite interesting. The Fresno police killed John Lang. It's been a while since I've read the story, so forgive me if I get something wrong. John Lang was a journalist who was very critical of the FPD. He wrote an article about how the police went into poor parts of the city and pulled cars over that parked in free parking lots or something like that. Eventually, he started noticing people watching his house, FBI style. One night he asked on Facebook if he could stay in someone's home for the night, as he knew the police were going to kill him that night. After no one let him, his house caught on fire. The coroner said that he was stabbed to death, but then retracted that statement. That last part is what makes me believe it's 100% real. Edit. The coroner now says it was a suicide, not an accident.